Salvation strengthens bonds with superpowers. The anonymous anti-Xeno scientist Salvation has received further military support from the Alliance, Empire and Federation. Multiple official sources have highlighted the increasing number of crew members being seconded from the Alliance Defense Force, Federal Navy and Imperial Navy. Previously, enlisted members had been forced to resign their commissions, but regulatory changes now permit temporarily serving on vessels owned by Salvation's commercial partner Taurus Mining Ventures. One of the recent volunteers, Lieutenant Andrew Jones, was quoted by Vox Galactica. "Most of us are here because it feels like Salvation is the only one taking the fight to the Thargoids. Now that Aegis is as good as gone, he's our best hope for stopping these aliens before they wipe us all out." Other non-naval recruits from the superpowers are providing support in intelligence, logistics and security. A number of specialists are alleged to be working directly with Salvation on his anti-Xeno superweapons, which are derived from Guardian technology. In related news, scientific research journal The Empirical reported that no evidence of atypical radiation has been detected in the Sinur CERC-216 system. This has raised questions as to the purpose of Taurus Mining Ventures' recent mining operation. Yong Rui. History will judge Sirius's. The CEO of Sirius Corporation has addressed public concerns regarding its anti-Xeno defense pact with the Alliance. Li Yongrui's comments were made during an in-depth interview with the Alliance Tribune. The best way to predict the future is to study the past. This is as true of interstellar organizations as it is of individuals. Our former actions indicate the probability of behavior. So I invite you to study the role that Sirius Corporation has previously played on the political stage. Ever since the Battle of Anaconda and the widespread conflicts of the 2300s, our neutrality has allowed us to mediate between the Empire and the Federation on many occasions. More recently, we diffused interpower tensions by establishing the Marlinist colonies, which provided permanent homes for millions of refugees. It should also not be overlooked that the Galactic Summit was hosted in the Sirius system, where we encouraged humanity's leaders to peacefully debate their differences. Furthermore, our development of the frame shift drive has revolutionized exploration and allowed many independent societies to flourish. Some continue to cast aspersions on our strategic partnership with the Alliance, and I fully understand their caution. The fear that corporations can only act self-servingly is born from a millennium of notable examples. But it is history that will judge Sirius Corporation's efforts to defend and preserve civilization. I truly hope the Alliance will play a significant role in those efforts.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. 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 Surface scan complete.
Superpower systems overrun by Thargoids. Pilots Federation alert. Thargoid fleets have invaded the DDO, Novas and Sosol systems placing over 10 billion lives at risk. Local security services in all three systems have reported overwhelming numbers of hostile Thargoid vessels. Several starports have been directly attacked with caustic enzyme weapons, and the combined death toll is already in the hundreds of thousands. DDO, Novus and Sosong are members of the Alliance, Empire and Federation respectively. 3 admirals have been selected to mount a defense: Henry Paul Atherton of the Imperial Navy, Maxton Price of the Federal Navy and Rachel Ziegler of the Alliance Defense Force. However, it will be days before each can marshal sufficient forces. Therefore the factions Emperor's Grace, LTT 4772 Alliance Mandate and Union of Sosong Democrats have sent out emergency calls for assistance to all independent pilots. With Aegis now officially disbanded, its fleet is being temporarily operated by Frontline Solutions. The Combat Logistics Corporation has made the ships available with a volunteer pilot force, which will support the superpowers in systems invaded by Thargoid fleets. Sources indicate a more permanent solution is being sought, as Frontline Solutions CEO Imogen LeRae is believed to be resistant to a long-term commitment of her company's resources to the anti-Xeno effort. The Alliance, Empire and Federation are currently liaising with Salvation, whose unique weaponry has proved effective against Thargoid incursions of similar magnitude. As yet, Salvation has made no public statement. Marlinist colonies receive starport resources. Pilots Federation alert. The construction of new Marlinist starports has begun after materials were delivered to the Ep.233 system. Enough shipments of aluminium, computer components, power generators and titanium were received at Stillman Hub to facilitate the building of 2 orbital stations. These are expected to become operational by the 5th of May 3308. The campaign's conclusion was marked by a statement from First Minister Octavia Volkov. Not for the first time in our turbulent history, we are indebted to all pilots who have shown support for the Marlinist colonies. With these additional starports, we can increase local commerce and contribute to the wider economy. It is my sincere hope that our handful of systems will one day form the nucleus of a Marlinist republic, which can peacefully coexist alongside our imperial cousins. The Free Marlinists of Karini faction is now rewarding all pilots who took part in this initiative at Stillman Hub in the HIP-22550 system. In related news, Prime Consul Coyote Tau has been invited to establish an office of the Marlinist Consulate on Capitol. This is being widely viewed as a sign of increased diplomatic tolerance from the Emperor. Sirius defends Alliance territory. Pilots Federation alert. Sirius Corporation megaships will soon arrive in the Coalsack, at which head nebulas to provide anti-Xeno support. The 3 vessels are intended as a demonstration of Sirius Corporation's military capabilities prior to the Strategic Defense Pact being ratified by the Alliance Assembly. A public statement was provided by Admiral Nicholas Glass, the Sirius Navy representative on the Alliance Council of Admirals. The Coalsack Nebula, at which head nebula regions are where Alliance interests are most at risk from Thargoid attack. From tomorrow, our megaships will serve as bases from which anti-Xeno operations can be conducted. All ships in the area are invited to make use of the Song of Meki in the Coalsack Sector VUOB-66 system, the Kondula's Truth in the Sinyang system, and the Lichio Winds in the Onoros system. Sirius in Rackham consolidates in Beta Hydri. The Beta Hydri system has become the commercial and political headquarters of wealthy entrepreneur Zachary Rackham. The Tau Cetai Journal reported that Rackham Capital Investments owns a majority of shares in the Beta Hydri Corporation, the system's controlling faction. As a member of its board of directors, Rackham has had a role in governing the system for many months. At a press conference, a spokesperson for Rackham Capital Investments said, "Mr. Rackham was born on the planet Homeland, so he is enthusiastic about giving back to his former community. For example, building Rackham's spire helped revive the construction industry in Los Pioneros. We have also invested in several local companies, such as the Lux Songchu hotel chain, now rebranded as Rackham's Rooms and MacArthur Mining Limited. Several news feeds asked if Rackham's political position in Beta Hydri paved the way for running as an independent candidate in next year's presidential election. However, the spokesperson declined to comment. The Federal Times' coverage of the story included an observation by financial journalist Brianna Blanco. As far as my research can tell, Zachary Rackham's citizenship documents have never been made public or independently verified. My guess is that Calico Zach wasn't born in the Federation at all, but hails from some anarchic backwater where piracy is a way of life. Sirius vows to defend Alliance. Sirius Corporation has claimed that the recent Thargoid incursions prove the necessity of its strategic defense pact with the Alliance. The DDO, Novas and Sosol systems are currently withstanding a coordinated attack from large numbers of Thargoid vessels. Independent pilots have rushed to their aid while the three superpowers prepare their respective fleet responses. A press conference was held by Admiral Nicholas Glass, the liaison between the Alliance Defense Force and the Sirius Navy. This unexpected onslaught only underlines the Alliance's need for military support. The Thargoids can strike anywhere at any time, and Allied systems such as DDO are vulnerable. Only with Sirius Corporation's help can we ensure their safety. Journalists pointed out that the Council of Admirals had selected Admiral Rachel Ziegler to lead their anti-Xeno task force instead of Admiral Glass, despite that being his specific area of expertise. He replied, "Well, as you know, the pact is still within its trial period and hasn't yet been ratified by the Assembly. So there are limits to how involved Sirius Corporation can be at this stage. I'm sure my colleague will do a fine job while I focus on providing broader support for the DDO system, such as additional secondments to Salvation's fleet." Kumo Crew appoints new council leader. Anaconda has announced that pirate leader Callan Salamanca is the newest member of the Kumo Council's upper echelon. Political journalist Conrad Sterling provided an overview for Vox Galactica. The Kumo Council was formed by Anaconda to delegate his control over the criminal syndicate. Each member has the title of Corsair and oversees a region or system within his territory. But Delane's most trusted advisors, known as Arch-Corsairs, work with him on strategic goals. The latest addition is the son of Gideon Soulless Salamanca, one of the most infamous warlords in the Pegasi sector. Following Salamanca's unexpected death from a cardiac event, Delane has elevated Callan to take his father's place on the council, despite the young man's reputation for impulsive behavior. Two others remain in the council's inner circle. Vidar Trask has been close to Delane for many years and is known to be an expert administrator. Kay Valentine was originally part of the Blue Viper Club Dredger clan, before she negotiated its alliance with the Kumo crew. Delane continues to style himself as the sovereign ruler of the Kumo nation, striving for an air of legitimacy. The Kumo Council reinforces this approach, but is often called upon to justify or deny their region's brutal excesses. With rumors that Callan Salamanca is already misusing his newfound authority, this delicate balance might prove to be unsustainable.
Scanned by 50%. Surface scan
Marlinist refugees migrate from Alliance. Over 2 million ex-Imperial citizens who sought sanctuary with the Alliance are now being repatriated to the Marlinist colonies. Ambassador Elijah Beck, head of the Alliance Office of Diplomatic Relations, announced. Political refugees from Imperial systems have been arriving since late 3306, following the Empire's crackdown on Marlinism. At the time they had no legal status or resources, and relied entirely upon the charity of local factions for their survival. Our successful negotiations with the Marlinist consulate have now led to a solution. The Assembly will fund safe passage to the Marlinist colonies for all refugees in Alliance space. Pending security checks, they will be granted full citizenship. The decision was welcomed by First Minister Octavia Volkov. Thanks to the Alliance's generosity, any Marlinists currently within their territory can now take advantage of free transportation to a colony system of their choice. There we will provide state support and work opportunities to help them establish new permanent homes. More than 1 million people who fled the Empire are still unaccounted for, having dispersed throughout the core systems. I call for them to contact us via the consulate and join our growing Republican society. Sirius Initiative plans aid for an superpowers employ pilots to hunt Thargoids. Pilots Federation alert. The Alliance, Empire and Federation are offering bounties on Thargoid vessels in the Didio, Novas and Sosong systems. Commodore Morag Halloran, who coordinates Salvation's military forces, broadcast this message on public channels. Salvation has started construction of 3 anti-Xeno superweapons to expunge the latest Thargoid infestation. He estimates 2 more weeks before these devices become operational. Until that time, it is vital that we keep the Thargoids at bay to minimize civilian casualties. The anti-Xeno task forces of the Alliance Defense Force, Federal Navy and Imperial Navy are cooperating on a joint operation to buy time for the superweapons to be completed. This includes rewarding independent pilots for defending the Didio, Novas and Sosong systems. Commanders can hand in combat bonds for Thargoid kills until the 12th of May 3308 at these 3 locations: the megaship Plymouth Howe in the Chachi system, Sturkow Orbital in the Ushima system, and Nussel and Volant Settlement in the Zalota system. Each superpower has also deployed a capital ship to the invaded systems. The Allied megaship Salute Charm in Didio, the Majestic-class Interdictor INV Succession in Novas, and the Farragut-class battle cruiser FNS Amphion in Sosong. Jade Sanderlin, a reporter for Vox Galactica, has been granted permission to interview the admirals in command of the task forces. Her conversations with Henry Paul Atherton, Maxton Price and Rachel Ziegler are being broadcast by the capital ships and will be syndicated via news feeds. Sirius Initiative plans aid for Alliance. Pilots Federation alert. Sirius Corporation has organized humanitarian support for the Didio system, which is under attack by Thargoid vessels. The Alliance Defense Fleet is currently combating the Thargoid threat in Didio, under the command of Admiral Rachel Ziegler. Admiral Nicholas Glass, who acts as a liaison between the Megacorp and the Alliance Defense Force, provided details of the campaign. With the Strategic Defense Pact yet to be ratified, the Council of Admirals has not approved the deployment of Sirius Navy ships as part of an Allied fleet. However, Sirius Corporation is keen to show its commitment to helping the Alliance, and will do so by supplying vital resources to the Didio system's besieged population. Large quantities of basic medicines, evacuation shelters and food cartridges are urgently required. These can be delivered to the megaship Chariot of Rhea in the Listi system, from where they will be delivered to Didio in military convoys. Sirius Corporation has been criticized for not providing similar support to the Novas and Sosong systems, which have also been invaded. A spokesperson for the Megacorp stated that the Strategic Defense Pact's trial applies exclusively to the Alliance. Any similar relationship with the Empire and Federation would require separate negotiations, though the spokesperson stressed that Li Yongrui has no interest in such talks at this time. A joint operation between the superpowers is currently underway in Didio, Novas and Sosong to counter recent Thargoid invasions. This is to buy time for Salvation's anti-Xeno superweapons to be constructed.
Orbital flight engaged.